What's going on, guys? It's Zoko, and today I wanted to discuss what are, in my opinion, the top changes to New World thus far. Gonna probably add what I hope is coming in the future at the end, and whether you want to debate me on some or all of these points, I do actually encourage that discussion down in the comments. If you are a fan of New World or MMOs in general, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more of this type of content. Alrighty, let's do this. First change that, in my opinion, has been really awesome has been this PvP rewards track. If you don't know what this is a reward system that adds a new currency of sorts called Azoth Salt. This can be earned from many different things, from open world PvP kills, PvP faction missions, outpost rush, 3v3 arena, which is another new thing wrapped up in this point that I'm making, and obviously the wars themselves. Azoth Salt, you have no idea how many times I've tried to say this, is what is used to buy items you unlock from your PvP track. Each track has 3 different checkpoints which give different and better rewards as you get further along in the track. You can obtain things like umbral shards, gold, gear, and emotes from doing these PvP activities. Now the best rewards, in my opinion, start to happen after you get track 5. You see, at track 5 you unlock the ability to get named equipment. Super rare PvP track exclusive gear, pretty much tailored towards, well, PvP fighting. This is nice for 2 reasons. You get great gear to further enhance your PvP ability. I think god tier crafted rolls will be better in most instances, but for the vast majority of players, if you get a drop within your realm of use, meaning it complements your build and current gear already, it will frequently be an upgrade. The other thing that I like about this is it really only pertains to PvP players, meaning some people don't like PvP, right? So these are just not some best in slot PvE items that some players will begrudgingly grind out in an effort to upgrade their character. No, these are PvP only perks on pretty much all of them. And if you don't like PvP at all, there's no reason to aim for any one of these. I get this is a largely PvP game in general, whether you want to believe that or not, but the reality is there are those who play this who don't partake in that sort of activity. So in a way, this adds something for the PvP side without taking away, so to speak, from the other group, and that's a good thing. The thing that eventually got me to stop playing at the end of last year was the gear grind. I dreaded going through the motions of running in a train or world tour around the map. There was no guarantee at progress, really, and I'm saying that as someone who is no stranger to a grind. I have played MMOs for the better part of 20 years, but grinds need to be fun and enjoyable for the people to keep playing, and for me this just wasn't. Fast forward to a few weeks ago when I re-downloaded it and find out about this new thing called Gypsum. Gypsum is an item you get from doing various activities in the game, from gathering dungeons, open world bosses, outpost rush, 3v3 arenas. You can get this item doing pretty much anything you just want to do in the game. You then take that item, refine it at a kiln in one of the endgame settlements way up north, and then you use that refined gypsum to make a cast. This cast can be specific to a certain gear slot or weapon with a guaranteed expertise raise upon opening. If you weren't aware, expertise is the new watermark system that was in place at launch. More or less functions the same though, but with the most welcome benefit of having a visual status of where you stand expertise wise for each slot. You can also see your average, which is pretty nice. Now between 500 and 590, each cast will guarantee a +3 to +10 increase. Between 590 and 600 will be an increase of +2 or +3, and then at 600 your increase is from umbral shards, which is something you hopefully have been saving as you have gone about your grind. Now each piece of gypsum can only get you 1 cast a day per slot, so you are definitely able to do multiple a day, but if you're focused on one of these slots, it will take some time. There is a way to get a second cast though through the refining of infused scraps. You basically need to salvage legendary equipment to get these scraps and then refine them at that same kiln. These also can be used only once per slot, however they stack with the previous gypsum system that I just mentioned. If you utilize both of these methods, you can upgrade 2 of the same slot in a single day. Oh, it's worth mentioning too, it resets at a certain time of the day. So if you get on late and you're before that reset period, you can still get it done for that day. And then, you know, it'll reset maybe a few hours later or something. So you're not like actually missing time. It's not like a 24-hour timer as soon as you get your cast made. So you don't have to worry about that. Beyond this system, gear drops from bosses and chests are now much more frequent. Bosses are actually extremely frequent, especially if you don't have any slots capped. You are pretty much guaranteed an expertise increase on each boss. lost kill. These increases in the end gear grind had me go from like 520 or so to a few pieces at 600 in under a week, I swear. Looking back, nothing was more frustrating and demoralizing to me than that end game gear grind. Some certainly could do it and at that moment are clearly reaping those rewards in terms of being prepped for new content and or like just new build combinations. These changes have made absolutely the process easier. It's got better transparency and it's all around just more enjoyable because of it. Now, without a doubt, the best change to come about since I last played has been the group finder. This is something you can utilize anywhere you are in the world as long as you have discovered that particular dungeon. Granted, someone else can invite you to a group and you can do it that way, but starting a group or joining a lobby for another one, you will need to have physically been there. The other thing they changed with this addition was taking away tuning orbs. This was an obnoxious system that forced you to craft or purchase these orbs in order to access the dungeon. If I recall, your group only needed one orb to get in, so if your group had multiple orbs, then you could obviously run it multiple times. You were limited, however, in how many you could craft or purchase in a single day. This was all obviously an effort to minimize the amount of farming that some people would be able to do. To combat this with the new change, there is now a hard limit on the amount of runs you can do, a daily limit of 25 for regular dungeons, and a weekly limit of 25 for mutated dungeons. These numbers are generally pretty good for the vast majority of players. If any number is too low, it's probably the mutated dungeons. I do know a couple of groups that have hit that cap a few times, but they aren't super upset about that cap either. I think many would prefer a bump to maybe 30 or 35, but it's not the worst thing in the world to keep it where it's at. The game certainly could use attention in some other areas. Now, if you're still watching, let me know in the comments by answering some questions for me. What are your favorite changes so far in this game? Is there something not yet addressed that would make you happier? And if you are someone that has returned recently, what was it that brought you back? Personally, the biggest thing I am hoping for is a preset system. However they do it, I really don't care. But with all the variety of builds you can make and one character able just to do them all, having a way to switch back and forth would be very, very helpful. And if you're concerned about it becoming annoying by people switching mid-fight, I actually already have a solution for that and I will share it soon. I'm going to keep on making New World content for a while and your support is extremely important to me. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.